Hey guys, Crypto Sunday and a slightly green week from last week, about £2,000 or £3,000 up. Still sort of slow going. It's late 2023, similar to sort of late 2015, really. Getting going, but we're all hoping this coming bull market hopefully is similar to the sort of 2016, 2017 rather than sort of 2020. 2020 not sort of being the best year, but we'll see. A lot of news as well. So you're really getting some of these Republican Congress members that are pro Bitcoin sort of trying to make it a big topic at the moment. They're even pushing through an anti CBDC bill, which seems sort of very counterintuitive to the US government. I believe Biden issued an executive order for government to look into CBDCs and sort of potentially start a rollout or start developing. And Congress have at least passed a first vote on an anti-CBDC bill that basically just says stop doing any development on it. So yeah, kind of got sort of mixed feelings between various departments, but yeah, have to see where this goes. So this is Representative Tom Emmer, Republican, and he's saying this bill has already gained the support of 60 members of Congress, and yeah, it sort of passed the first vote. So he's saying it goes against American values, basically, similar to sort of Chinese Communist Party's central bank digital currency. There's sort of basically saying if they're doing it, then it's something we want to be avoiding. But yeah, interesting. So you've got Nomura pushing on with crypto adoption. We know Japan are sort of quite keen. We've seen a lot of news and regulation out of them that's sort of fairly positive. And yeah, they're sort of large bank, I believe, 500 billion assets under management. And they have a crypto arm, Laser Digital, and they've launched a fund allowing investors to buy into crypto. So this is institutional, as they say, it's aimed at institutions, not the public. They do still seem to be a little bit reluctant to sort of go full on with the public buying, but yeah, they've sort of created a partnership in sort of partnership with Ledger and CoinShares, and yeah, looking at sort of going for an institutional crypto fund. It's not entirely clear from what I could see what exactly they're holding in it. Yeah, whether this is sort of a mistranslation, but the granting them the ability to go long on Bitcoin offers a solution to investors to capture the macro trend. So I just didn't like this sort of wording of go long on Bitcoin. That sort of sounds like not buying the real Bitcoin and maybe just futures and stuff. But yeah, you'd always prefer them to be buying spot Bitcoin because that is proper Bitcoin. A lot of talk on Twitter or X recently about futures and how you could sort of, in theory, have far more than 21 million Bitcoin in futures, and that's just sort of creating a paper market similar to gold that could be used to sort of depress the Bitcoin price if people want to. The whole idea was supply is limited, and yeah, you're essentially increasing the supply if you allow derivatives and sort of unlimited derivatives, only limited by fiat cash. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens with Japan, what they mean by go long on Bitcoin. But yeah, good news. Coinbase. So there's been a lot of talk about Coinbase exchange balance been dropping, and yeah, some people are sort of saying behind the scenes that they expect there's been a lot of Coinbase um, crypto held that just sort of hasn't been noticed, or it's in cold storage, sort of held for institutions and all sorts of people, just no idea where it is. And yeah, it's been sort of basically confirmed that they have $25 billion of Bitcoin, or 1 million Bitcoin, about 5% of the whole supply. So yeah, that's rather a lot. Sort of, they found a single cold wallet with 10,000 Bitcoin, which hadn't sort of been identified as them. So it's always sort of tricky to identify these coins. People like sort of Chainalysis and Glassnode and people, they're sort of taking a guess as to an educated guess as to where these wallets belong to, and it's very easy to sort of miss some basically. So they're saying it's not on the public exchange. There's very little sort of still on the public exchange, but they hold it as reserves for other parties, which is unusual. And they also possess 1.68 million Ethereum, 68 million Chainlink. So yeah, some fairly big sums there as well. For the whole company being $16 billion, I think. That's sort of seen as pretty good to have a high assets under management. Sort of at least 2 times, well, yeah, nearly 2 times their market cap in assets under management, which is pretty good. Not a stock that I would want to buy still, because I just sort of think even being in the heavy bear market, still at 16 billion seems, I don't know, rather a lot to me. I'm not sure I can imagine them sort of 10xing like some of the smaller cryptos. But yeah, good. And their base network is doing well. The total value locked is above Solana. So Solana sort of not really known for DeFi and total value locked just yet. It's got 310 million compared to Ethereum's 21 billion, and sort of lots of other projects have a lot more. But yeah, it's been overtaken by Base, so that's number 9 now, and it's another good thing for them to have. But there is some Solana good news. You've had another project, Eclipse, launching on a sort of Solana virtual machine network, basically, rather than using the Ethereum virtual machine. So getting sort of a few people talking about this now. It was the Maker token are saying that they're forking Solana to create their sort of layer 1 project, and yeah, using Solana virtual machine, and it's just getting more use for it. A lot of people sort of see this as not really a benefit to Solana because they're forking it and just sort of doing their own thing. But I was watching Ivan on Tech sort of mention he's sort of very much the more developer, technical focused guy rather than just sort of focused on price and that sort of thing. And he's saying people using the Solana virtual machine and sort of forking Solana will lead to more developers sort of coding in the Solana ecosystem, and it'll sort of make more tools and sort of get people writing more code around the Solana spec and that sort of thing, like similar to Ethereum has. People will sort of fork it and do their own tokens and their own layer 1s, but it's all sort of based around Ethereum code, and just sort of grows that ecosystem around people using Ethereum code. So doing that more for Solana has to be good, and it's links to Ethereum as well, using sort of Ethereum virtual machine. So more linking between Ethereum and Solana, I think, has to be good, because a lot of other projects are sort of completely going their own way and just sort of trying to scale beyond all of them, like Cardano and sort of some of the other layer 1s. So yeah, I'm all for linking Ethereum and Solana more and more. And you had a Canadian stablecoin expand to Solana, QCAD. Interesting. It's pegged to the Canadian dollar, and yeah, they've expanded. They were already on Ethereum, Algorand, and Stellar, but they've decided to expand to Solana, presumably sort of because of fees and large sort of transaction per second potential. And yeah, it sort of follows Solana onboarding Euro-E, the first ever potentially MiCA compliant stablecoin for the euro, and sort of just good to have these options now, sort of getting away from US dollar based stablecoins being the only thing in the world. I do think that's good, and it's sort of people are calling it the killer app for crypto, or one of at least. But yeah, I do think sort of having non-US dollar based ones as well has to be good. Obviously, relations between the US and sort of some of the rest of the world isn't particularly good, where sort of European relations are a lot better. So some people might want to use the euro one, or potentially the Canadian dollar. So yeah, see if this gets some sort of decent adoption, whether sort of it is Canadians specifically wanting to use it and not wanting to use like USDC or Tether. I'll see what they do with it. So portfolio-wise, it's all over the place. Obviously not made any changes for a while, but certainly on the last week, Bitcoin is up 1.5%, Ethereum is down 1%, and then it starts to go crazy. Solana up nearly 5%, Chainlink up 17%. Been seeing sort of some developments. They've been sort of having talks at conferences and that sort of thing, but I didn't see anything sort of terribly new. Saw some sort of bits they were talking about that I thought had already been released, but yeah, whether it makes it more well known to the world. But yeah, that's done very well for the week, 17% up. Cardano's completely flat, XRP up 4%. Power Ledger up 12.7%. That can sort of very easily drop back down. It's a tiny token. Audius down 1%. Quant is flat. Matic is flat. Basic Tension token up 2.5%. Gala down 7%. Still in trouble from the looks of it. VeChain and Internet Computer sort of both a couple. Well, VeChain's 1% down, Internet Computer's 1% up. So yeah, I am sort of getting very tempted with these smaller holdings that sort of just seem to be withering away. Maybe to just cut my losses and I'd get a bit of tax rebate back. So it's not sort of all lost, and maybe just sort of put those into something like Solana. It's still low. It's not sort of, I would have been better off just holding Solana rather than buying into sort of things like VeChain and Internet Computer, and certainly Gala, that's down 50%. But yeah, sort of, you can't really sort of do all that much with them as well. They do just sit in my wallet. I've not sort of found any like staking or lending opportunities or anything that I would be comfortable doing. I'm not really in the sort of ecosystem, so yeah, maybe there's sort of things that I don't really know about. But yeah, certainly with Solana, you can stake it, you can buy sort of NFTs that I think are in the bear market and sort of could do well in the future, and you can sort of do lending and that sort of thing, get a little bit of income, and I'm sort of fairly more bullish on the token itself. So yeah, even though it's only sort of what is now like £700, say, for VeChain, I'm down 250 quid. I would have been down if I'd held it in Solana, but less than 26%. But yeah, sort of wondering, maybe just cut my losses. I get 20% of that loss back, and yeah, put that into Solana. So I'm thinking about it. Sort of wondering if Gala is maybe just short-term news and sort of short-term fear over this infighting. I'll have to have a read up, but yeah, that would be sort of taking a big loss. But £1,000 into Solana could sort of do some nice little stuff. So yeah, having a think about that. Leave your thoughts in the comments on whether you think sort of cut your losses on small tokens and maybe just sort of go for something below Bitcoin and Ethereum, but something still sort of you're a little bit more bullish on. top 20 tokens rather than 20 to 200 tokens. So yeah, leave your thoughts in comments below and like and subscribe. See you soon.